Hi, Jesse with Etrailer. Today we'll be taking a look at, and I'll show you how to install the second vehicle breakaway kit by Blue Ox for their Patriot Braking Systems. There's 5 main components when looking to set up your vehicle for flat tow, starting with the base plate. That's going to be your structural mounting point on the towed vehicle that will connect to your motorhome through the next component, which is your tow bar here. That's the physical link between the two. Then we have our braking, and that will allow you to use the vehicle's brakes so you're safer on the road. You're not just relying solely on the motorhome's brakes. It's going to let you come to a nice controlled stop. Then our diode wiring, which is there to send a signal from the taillights on the motorhome to the taillights on your towed vehicle. That again will keep you safe on the road. It's going to allow other drivers to know what you're doing. And last, we have our safety cables here. These are here just as a last resort in case of a catastrophic disconnect. If everything gets disconnected, these are here. You can control your vehicle and get pulled over on the side of the road. If you're looking into this second vehicle kit, you may already own a Patriot system and already know how it functions. Or it's possible that maybe you bought one used and you just have the Patriot itself and are looking to install this. So I'll just go over real quick how it functions. So when you're hooking up your vehicle, you'll hook everything up and then take the included little lanyard, hook that up. And then of course this is here just in case of a catastrophic disconnect. If everything else disconnects, this pin would pull out and that will apply the brakes on the vehicle. So your second vehicle kit will of course come with this leash so that it can pull the pin, and then it comes with the switch here that will mount to maybe your base plate has a mounting point for it, or at least somewhere sturdy on the vehicle. And it comes with the wire that runs and sends signals to your Patriot system, which will sit in your driver's seat. And that's essentially it. As far as the install goes, it's not really that difficult, especially if you're setting up your base plate at the same time. You'll most likely already have your fascia off the vehicle, so you have plenty of space to run that wire up into the cabin there. But if that's not something that you are planning on doing yourself, maybe you just don't have the time or space to do so, then feel free to check out our dealer locator to find somebody willing to help you with that. If you are ready to tackle that yourself, then feel free to follow along this video and I'll show you how we set up ours. To begin our install, we'll need to find a good mounting point for our breakaway switch. So the base plate that we have today actually has a little tab here, and you just bolt it on there. But any solid hard surface that you can find is a good mounting point. I don't recommend drilling into the actual base plate itself, but any really solid plastic or metal you can find is a good mounting point. And once we have that mounted up, I just ran the wire back. We'll have to connect our plug in here. Get that pushed together. And I'll come back and wrap that with tape just to hold it secure. We'll take the rest of our wire. I'll run it behind this base plate here, and then you can see where my 4-pole or my 6-pole wiring is. It's loomed up. I'm going to follow that into the engine bay, and then I'll show you what I did from there. So I ran our wires up into the engine bay. There is a hole that I ran them through here. And once we get back there, we'll have to go through this rubber grommet. Now we're on the inside of the vehicle. I ran, once I poked a hole through the rubber grommet, there's 2 layers of rubber, so you'll have to push through and then push through one side. And then once I did that, I ran a little piece of airline tubing through that hole, and I electrical taped our wires onto the end. So at this point, just slowly pull it through. I also added a little bit of RTV silicone just to act as a lubricant to get it through there. So we'll pull it through and we'll get that tape off. So you'll see that I actually cut our connector off just to make it easier to get through that hole. So what I'll have to do is take some of the sheathing off and then re-splice our connector on. I'll show you how to do that next. Cut back some of the sheathing and separated our two wires. So of course we're just going to connect our white to our white and red to our red. So we'll just strip the red for now. These are kind of skinny wires, so just be careful when you're working with them. Give that a twist, and I have a heat shrink butt connector. We're on the inside of the vehicle. You could use just a regular butt connector, but this is what I have. Just slide that in there. Give that a nice crimp. And do the same with the other end. And then we'll continue onto the white wire. And that's about it. So, have our wire ready to plug into our Patriot here. It'll just plug into the hole there that says Breakaway. Then we'll take our cigarette lighter plug that is actually hardwired to the Patriot. And you just need to plug this into a cigarette lighter that will have power all the time. So you should be able to find that in your owner's manual or online. Some cars don't have a cigarette lighter, so you'll have to actually wire a 12 volt from your battery up here. But the Grand Cherokee 4xe actually has one on the driver's side in the cargo area. So our neighbor provided us with this extension cable so we can use that. And it's as simple as just plugging this in. Then we'll go to our Patriot. Hit the power button. It's going to flash like that. Hit setup. It's going to run through its paces and then come back. As long as that power light is lit up green solid, that means everything's good. That's going to do it for our look at and installation of the second vehicle breakaway kit by Blue Ox for Patriot Braking Systems.